Astrology is a very fun subject to learn, but sometimes it can get very overwhelming. These tutorials are designed to help you understand astrology like a pro. Before we can even look at an astrology chart, there is one important thing that we need to understand, and that is astrology is geocentric. But what does that mean? Geo stands for Earth, like geography or geology, and centric means the center. So when we say astrology is geocentric, what we're really saying is that astrology is from the perspective of the Earth. That is why, in real life, it takes 365 days for the Earth to revolve around the Sun. But in astrology, it takes 365 days for the Sun to revolve around the Earth. Because remember, in astrology, everything is from the perspective of the Earth. So now that we know what astrology is, it's time to ask that other big question. What exactly is an astrological chart? And in order to answer this question, we need to break it down. When it comes to charts, the first thing we have to know is anything that has a beginning has a chart. I know this sounds confusing because when we think of astrology charts, we usually think of our natal charts or the astrology charts of when we were born. But that's one of the coolest things about astrology. You can use it for practically anything. Houses have birth charts. Businesses have birth charts. Even dogs and countries have birth charts. Anything that has a beginning has a chart. The next thing that we must know about charts is that a chart is a photograph and a map all in one. In order to understand this, let's take a look at how natal charts are formed. A natal chart is the astrological chart at the moment you were born. This is our solar system, and even though you can't see it in this picture, it is constantly moving. Planets are always moving. So when you were born, it's as if someone went outside with a camera and took a picture of the sky. This is how your natal chart is a photograph. It is simply a snapshot of the constant planetary motion at the exact moment of your birth. So what is your natal chart a picture of? Simply, it is a picture of a map. A map of where all the planets are located as seen from the perspective of Earth. Remember, astrology is from the perspective of the Earth. For the moment, don't get too overwhelmed about orienting yourself to the map. That will be covered at a later lesson. Okay, so let's review what we learned today. Astrology is geocentric, and what that means is that in astrology, we are observing the solar system from the perspective of the Earth. There are a lot of charts that astrologers work with, but the most common one is the natal chart. The natal chart is an astrological chart of the exact moment you were born. Anything that has a beginning has a birth chart. And finally, an astrological chart is a map of where all the planets in the solar system are located as seen from the perspective of Earth at a specific moment in time. Well, that's the end of our first episode. I hope you found this lesson informative. If you have any questions or suggestions on future episodes, you can find my contact information below.